Hello, everyone. Welcome to this unique changeover, which we probably never experienced earlier, obviously. For those who don't know me, I am Vijay Susarla, your MC for this evening. The changeover is happening at, obviously, Amora Hotel, and we are about 16 of us here, and there are about 100 plus attendees on Zoom at the moment. A formal welcome will be made by President Geoff very soon. Hope you'll all enjoy whilst we endeavor to do the best. It is my pleasure to formally open the proceedings of the changeover and introduce you to our current president, Geoff McCormick. But firstly, I have to share with you a couple of my interactions with Geoff, particularly in the past 12 months. Jeffrey is a very busy man and a hard worker, working full-time as well as presidency, and dealing with the COVID challenges put to the club and to his work, and to the workplaces. With the above in mind, I must say, Geoff has two particular qualities. His famous words in unresolved times. Just bear with me. I had a hard day and just listen to me. I'm sure this was heard many a time in the board meetings. And no meeting has finished without mentioning his heritage, the Kiwi brand. To the extent that I'm slowly drifting away and even started forgetting my own Indian heritage. It is very powerful. It could be in relation to sports, legal systems, lifestyles, or even pandemic recovery, first in the world. He loves his motherland, Jeffrey. Please put your hands together and welcome our relaxed Jeffrey, President Geoff McCormick. Thank you.
Thank you all. I didn't expect that. Firstly, can I welcome everyone? We've got a group here which amounts to about 3 tables, and we're all appropriately distanced, which is excellent. And I also need to thank the Amora Hotel, which coincidentally, some of you mightn't realise, is actually owned by a Thai company. So from the standpoint of my wife, that's an excellent place to come to. So I now welcome the guests who are present, and I'll identify them. We've got District Governor Philip Archer. Welcome, Philip. We've got past District Governor Don Jago and Marjorie. Welcome to you all. We can clap at the end of this. On the web, I know that we've got past Assistant Governor Barry Hickman and Assistant Governor Casey Tan, and they're both the East Side Cluster. And also on the Zoom or the web, we've got the East Side Cluster Presidents, Craig Cribbs, Tony Laycott, Craig Cribbs, sorry, from North Balwyn, Tony Laycott from Canterbury, and Tim Reynolds from Balwyn. I welcome all past presidents and past Rotarians. I welcome Rotarians, their families, and partners. I should especially welcome, for our President-elect Murray, his good lady. She's smiling at me. And their 2 children, Sally and Marnie, and Sally's husband, Daniel. And they're also in the room with us. I'll just make a short special announcement. As some of you are aware, our esteemed past member, Bob Moran, died recently. His funeral is by Zoom tomorrow at 11 a.m. I would invite you to join in and watch the funeral. I think Fabienne, our secretary, has sent round the Zoom details. Fabienne's present at the moment. Now, I, as usual, forgot my glass of wine. So for those of you will always know that I forget my glass of wine, go around the back, and my wife Hong is now bringing me my glass of wine. Thank you, Hong. So the invocation, we give thanks for coming together during this challenging time to continue the friendships that we enjoy and for the role each of us play to make the world a better place through our involvement in Rotary. If you have a glass handy, toast to Australia. Cheers. I will now invite, after we've all sat down, past District Governor Don Jago and District Governor Philip Archer to join us on stage And we've got some rules here for those of you who will be wondering what's going on. You've got to walk around behind the screen here. We've been instructed this by Peter Allen, something to do with the setup. So I invite past District Governor Don Jago and District Governor Philip Archer to join us on stage, and we will have the toast to Rotary. So I invite Don Jago to propose a toast to Rotary International.
My Rotary friends and friends of Rotary. Tonight we gather, as BJ said, under somewhat different circumstances, but this in no way diminishes the importance of this evening. Together, we gather to honour our outgoing President, Geoff and Hong, and welcome our incoming President, Murray and Lindy, to reflect with satisfaction on the year just past and to look forward with the same anticipation of service in the year ahead, and especially, as we must do, seek and find new and different opportunities essential in these current circumstances. With President Geoff, we reflect on a year of leadership and progress, direction and purpose, of involvement of our members in all the avenues of service, of good works and fellowship. As he said, we had to have fun, enabling us to continue our opportunity of service above self. This opportunity is given to us through our privilege to be a member of a Rotary family, to be part of something bigger than ourselves. But Rotary is a family with an obligation. We welcome our meetings, yes, to enjoy the fellowship, but it must come with a purpose, to provide service through the avenues of service and the areas of focus of our Rotary Foundation, and in this way reach out in a beneficial and purposeful manner to our local and international communities. I ask you now, if you would stand with me, to join me in a toast to that organisation which gives us this opportunity, to which, I say again, it is our privilege to belong. With pleasure, I give you the toast to Rotary International. Rotary International. Thank you.
I now call upon District Governor Philip Archer to respond.
Don't you hate it when you start getting old and you have to bend down to recover? President Geoff, it's my pleasure to acknowledge the toast to Rotary by past District Governor Don Jago. But before I do, I just wanted to say a few thank yous first. I'd like to acknowledge your Rotary Club of Camberwell for the great work that you do, and also for the number of people that you have supporting the district. And I'm going to start with my very good friend, Gary Goldsmith. Gary and I have been on the district board for a number of years, since about 2005. And as you know, he's served as governance director, and I've convinced him to actually be the district secretary. Gary is a dear friend of mine and a very good confidant and advisor, and I really appreciate all the work that he's done to support me over the last 12 months. And I know he's going to have my back over the next 12 months. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Nick Panay, who's been an amazing assistant governor and really been an inspiration to his cluster. BJ Sosala, thank you for the introductions earlier, and it's lovely to see you and Verity here. We've met a few times now, and I'm looking forward to your role as Assistant Governor in the coming year. I've also got to say thank you to Patrick Doherty for his role for the last 12 months as Assistant Governor, and I'm looking forward to him continuing. Also, Fabian Nicola for her, I don't know how many jobs you've got in your club and how many jobs that you've got in district, but the role that's really impressive is in environment and sustainability as the co-chair with John McCaskill, particularly seeing that the Rotary Foundation trustees and our Rotary board at Rotary International has just agreed to announce a 7th area of focus, environment and sustainability, which will commence over the next 12 months. But our team is ready to go, and under John McCaskill and Fabian, we're going to see a lot of great work done. President Geoff, you've had a great year. Hong, you've had a great partnership with this club, and thank you for your support. Incoming President Murray, I know you've been trained and ready to go with your beautiful partner, Lindy, and it's lovely to see your family here in Sally, Marnie, and Daniel. Great to meet you earlier today. I think your father-in-law and dad is going to do an amazing job with this club. Marjorie and Don, thank you for all the work that you've done in our district over the many years. Thank you for your advice over the last few months. Don has always said to me, make Rotary more affordable and make it more accessible. And Don, I didn't imagine that we'd be here today with COVID-19, so I appreciate those words of advice early in my role as running up to the role of governor. Peter Allen, we've known each other through work for quite a while. Nice to see you here and taking it so professionally and seriously to set this room up. And Bev, lovely to see you again. I've got to now tell you a little story. I've found out this evening that George D'Souza and I went to the same school in Calcutta. Now, he left India in 1966. I came here in 1970, and we were at the same school. I was literally 14 years of age when I left, so I was at that school, George, when I was 13 years of age. But what's really remarkable is he came from the other side of India, so did I. He was born in Mumbai, or in those days, Bombay. And I was born in the Geelong of Mumbai, a place called Pune. So, Fulvia, I will talk to you a little bit about what his background is a little bit later. Folks, in response to the Toast to Rotary, Don Jago, I just wanted to say that I'm so pleased that our RI president has chosen a theme of Rotary Opens Opportunities. Little did we imagine back in January when he announced it in San Diego that we were surrounded by COVID-19. There were people at LA Airport and San Diego Airport all wearing masks. And we were asking ourselves as Aussies, what the hell's going on here? We missed a bullet. We came back very safe, but the world has changed and it's very different to what we thought it would be. I'm not that afraid of it. We've got a great team, and under immediate past District Governor Grant Hocking, Grant and his team ran a very successful campaign to make sure we pivoted to using technology and to keeping our members close to us. It was very impressive to see 64 of the 65 clubs immediately utilize Zoom to keep close to our membership. And I think that's going to stand us in good stead. It actually, what I've seen is that our members have actually used Zoom to connect with their families, and that's been impressive to see. My reading of history is that a lot of successful people were created during massively poor times, during depressions and world wars and other pandemics. And just like them, we at Rotary need to understand that there are clear opportunities. We've had to curtail quite a few of our activities, particularly youth programs, but it's brought about other opportunities for us. And every day there's a new normal. So we have to be true revolutionaries, as Holger Knack and Suzanne have asked us to be, in being very fleet of foot and being able to capture those new opportunities. Our district is the largest district in Australia and quite successful at adapting to new challenges. And what we've seen through last year is that we've actually strengthened our creativity in a number of areas, particularly to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion, environment and sustainability, and homelessness. And our leaders last year have set a great platform for us to continue this year. I'm very impressed with the work that we are doing in vocational service. Mary Barry has done a great job to set us up, and you'll see a lot of fruit being born out of our vocational service area. Geoff and Murray, you will see that we go back to our roots and really excel in vocational service during these next 6 to 12 months, given COVID-19's impact on business. Our youth programs under Karam Khan in the coming year, you'll see a lot of new changes and adoption of technology. And I've asked our club service chair to absolutely revolutionize club service. So Rowan McLean has developed a team that will take us through making sure that the promise we make in public image and communications and in membership out there in the public is backed up by a great club service program, which would be fantastic. What we need to do is also understand that we need to be different over the next 12 months. Different in asking people who are younger people, millennials, to join us. And we've tried something at the Rotary Club of South Bank that has been very successful over the last 3 months. We've established a satellite club of 9 millennials who are current leaders. They're not future leaders. They've been told that they can do what they want, when they want, and pick a project of their choice. But they will be given training in their first board opportunity, a mentor in business and a mentor in Rotary. And what they love about Rotary and our badge is the fact that they belong to a global organization and they can do something on a global stage. So how amazing is that? We've also looked at South Bank to establish a CEO satellite club, and that will commence at the end of this month. We've been asking men and women in business for 100 years in Australia to join Rotary. About 1.5% of us say yes. The rest of them say, sorry, we're very busy. Maybe the better question is that we ask them to join a monthly or a quarterly business leaders breakfast where they network and they hear from a speaker that we put on who give them some really new knowledge about global activities, business activities, and for them to network with Rotary to develop in their community a more resilient community. So we're seeing a big uptake in that, and I'd urge you to look at that. And I know that Murray is interested in the Satellite Club of Millennials, and I really encourage you to take that forward. This coming year, Rotary will truly be a place where we look at opportunities and open opportunities, not just for ourselves, but for the community at large. We've done it tough in Australia because of the droughts, because of the bushfires, because of COVID-19. And as a number of you have earlier this evening said to me, watch out for the next 6 months because it is going to be tough. Peter Costello, the treasurer of this country from some time ago, today spoke at the Rotary Club of Melbourne. And he made an amazing and passionate speech about where we were today. And it very clearly showed us that we're not that badly off. We have opportunities, but we've all got to be pitching in and working together. And that's what Rotary does very well. So we've got to reach out within ourselves to be the best we can, to be, as Holger has asked us, to be revolutionaries, to be bold, to drop the things that don't matter over the next 12 months because we haven't got the bandwidth, but to pick up on things that we need to do. And we'll do that in spades. Rotarians at the Rotary Club of Camberwell, I know that we're in good shape at your club. You're an amazing club. We at the district will support you, and I'm looking forward to working with you in the coming 12 months. Let's be very bold. Let's remember we're the best volunteer organization in history. Please don't leave your home without your badge, because that's an indication of how passionate you are. Thank you for this opportunity to respond to the toast to Rotary by past District Governor Don Jago. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, District Governor Phillip. Now, can I just now change to some of the matters that I have to deal with? What I say next will be relatively brief. The exigencies of us having to meet by Zoom restrict us self-evidently. But there's one thing that I'll start off with. Firstly, one of the last things a departing president can do is present Paul Harris Fellow Awards. If I had my way, and in the light of the way in which all members of the board have come together to address the unique circumstances we're in with COVID-19, I would have presented PHFs to everyone in the club. However, that cannot be done. But there are 3 members that I want to single out for their sterling service throughout the year. I'll follow the Rotary Club at Camberwell tradition of not identifying the member immediately, and some of you will start to try and guess. One joined the club only some 3 years ago, and that member's enthusiasm, drive, get up and go, however one puts it, for the projects that member has been involved in and in participation on the board cannot go unacknowledged. She's only been in the club 3 years, so yes, it's a she, but she has made a real difference within the club. The other joined some 4 years ago, and that member stepped up to some onerous tasks in my year and will continue them this year. I will now name them. Kerry Ann Frost, and someone who's in this room at the moment, George D'Souza. George. Because you are physically here, I can actually present you with your award. And I think I've actually got, Fabienne, is that the actual badge as well? Did we get that?
That will come in due course. Coronavirus, they're not doing any yet. It will come. And that is a medallion.
That's the medallion, which I think is for you. And that is your award. And we have to say, George stepped up to being the post of treasurer and will continue it this year. And he has done an excellent job. And as someone who, as some of you know, I was an accountant for a period, and then I decided that I didn't want to be an accountant and became a barrister. As someone who knows a bit about accounts, all I can say about George is I can look at his accounts and understand everything. And as far as I'm concerned, that is the sign of an expert. George, congratulations. We might or might not. If you want to say something, you can. Kerry Ann Frost, I know you're not here, but Kerry Ann, can I just mention, George, come back here. Kerry Ann, can I just mention, what she did not mention, if you look in our directory, is she was awarded a Paul Harris Fellow while at Hornsby Rotary Club. So this is a sapphire to her existing PHF. And I think all of you will agree that her enthusiasm, her drive in relation to international matters has been exemplary. If you want to say a word now, George, you can, because there's a third member who I'm going to make an award to. So you can say a word if you want to.
Thank you, President Geoff. It is an honour. I'm just doing what I like to do, which is just be, I guess, the member behind the badge and just support the club in any way I can. So thank you very much.
And here's your medallion. Now, I should say something or other, by the way, there, according to the note we received from RI, medallions, George is one of the last ones to get medallions. They're not producing medallions anymore. I don't know why. The third member I want to make an award to is one of our quiet achievers. He's been a member of the club for some 11 years, but he's someone who, without being asked, attends to tasks efficiently and conscientiously for the club. This particularly in terms of the art show and anything to do with the internet and the web. Jeevan Vasimala. Some of you mightn't be aware, but I certainly became aware of it in terms of being on the board, all the things Jeevan does in terms of being webmaster, in terms of sorting out things on our websites, generally. And I know David Baker does a lot as well, but it occurred to me that really, Jeevan, your work has to be recognised. I'm sure we will all congratulate those three members. I reiterate, if I had an ability to award PHFs to everyone, I would have done it. Now, can I just make a little comment as well about Philip Archer's reference to Mumbai or Bombay, and also his reference to people who didn't realise they came from the same part of the world. Jeevan and Vijay. Vijay comes to our club. Jeevan starts to look at Vijay. Vijay starts to look at Jeevan. I was present when one said to the other, "Didn't you go to the same school?" They did. Now, I'll add something else. As Vijay, George, Philip may not be aware, but I think Jeevan's as well aware as well. I come from what's called a very old colonial family. Some of our family left Ireland in the 1750s. Where did we go to? India. Where did some of my ancestors come from? Guess where, George? Even better than that, Pune. So if you get my mother's side of it, I'm one of you lot. Now that comes to my report. Can I again thank everyone in the club for their support? When I embarked on this task, I never anticipated, indeed none of us did, that we would face a pandemic akin to the Spanish flu. But here we are, and that the club came together and is still coming together, I emphasize still coming together, to continue its fellowship and its work generally is something we all should be immensely proud of. Immensely proud of. Here, I cannot leave unmentioned the sterling work of President-elect Murray, soon to be President Murray, and Secretary Fabienne in terms of Zoom and the meetings. Murray, you have consistently and throughout set up the Zoom meetings, run the Zoom meetings. Sometimes you've forgotten to invite the president. You did once. I had to send him a message. But you've had them running and running well. You've put us into breakout rooms. That of itself has been entertaining. But the really good thing about Zoom and the meetings, and it's something Fabienne drew to my attention, is that our attendance has shot up. We've had attendance levels, I think, of about 80%, haven't we, Fabienne? She's nodding her head. It has gone up. We've had, such as Ian Fader, who many of you know and love as a past member of the club, and I'm sure he's listening at the moment, attending from Sydney. We've had people attending from everywhere in Australia. So I have to thank, I can't leave unmentioned the sterling work of President-elect Murray and Secretary Fabienne in terms of Zoom and the meetings. David Baker, as the bulletin editor, must be mentioned. He has communicated everything to everyone, including my president notes. And I trust you will keep on with the president's notes, Murray. It's by communications that we keep together, both live and through the bulletin. That I mention 3 people by name does not mean I'm not immensely grateful to other members of the board for their support and assistance. And sorry, that's the classic barrister's double negative. I am immensely grateful to other members of the board for their support and assistance. Everyone has helped in their own way. I will not, in the interest of time, go through all the various projects that we've completed, beyond noting that we should be very proud of what we've achieved in such as Timor-Leste, VJ's in the room at the moment, John Walmsley, etc. Tanzania, Kerry Ann Frost, and within Australia, Teresa Malala and her team, Richard O'Brien. Here, the enthusiasm of all involved has never ceased to amaze me. And in that regard, it would be most remiss of me not to mention the Art Show Committee and their members who have moved and are moving to virtual art shows. Geoff, Keith, Brenda Innes, and all of you, you're stalwarts of the show and the club. If I only mention some members by name, does not mean I'm not grateful to all of you. I am very grateful to everyone for the assistance in these trying times, members and club. I'm also grateful to all the partners. A good Rotarian is someone, a good partner is someone or other who supports a Rotarian, and all the partners of the Rotarians have supported their members, including my good wife, Hong, who, as usual, whenever I say something like that, is quietly trying to hide. I again thank the club for its support. I'll now move to turning myself into a past president. At this point, I'll go, yay! But I'll make one further comment. I finally realised what I was supposed to be doing as a president about a month ago. There's something about Rotary which means that you spend most of the year working out what the hell you're supposed to do, then you work it out, at which point someone else takes it over. I like the sound of that. And it's how the organisation has worked for a very long time. So I'll now turn to the induction of President-elect, soon to be President Murray. Murray, if you can come up here. Now let's make sure we're both on the screen. We are both on the screen. President-elect Murray Anderson. You've been chosen by your fellow Rotarians to be President of the Rotary Club of Camberwell for the ensuing year. The appointment is not made lightly, as it's the highest honour within the powers of the club to bestow upon you, but is made in recognition of your service to Rotary in general and to this club in particular. With the presidency, you're assuming new duties, new obligations, and new responsibilities, which will make severe demands upon your thoughts, time, and energy. The club is confident, I am confident, we are all confident. You will carry out your tasks with the same zeal you've always shown in Rotary, and you're assured of the utmost cooperation from every one of your members, and from me. Rotary's object, with its 5 avenues of service, will, I know, be your constant guide, and you will always be sustained by fellowship and esteem of us all. With this collar, which bears all the names of all the presidents of the club, including your own, I put it on myself. I induct you as President of the Rotary Club of Camberwell for the year 2020 to 2021. Pendant to the collar, you can be seated, Pendant to the collar is a rotary wheel with the word President inscribed. This is the badge of your office. In fact, there's another president on the back of it, just in case they didn't know who you are. I'll now present you with your badge, which says Murray Anderson, President, and also the lapel pin.
I'll change that one later.
You take it off and you put that on ASAP.
Yep.
On behalf of the members of your club and all who are here tonight, I congratulate you and wish you a happy and rewarding year. Guests, fellow Rotarians, I present to you our new president, President Murray.
That's mine. Wow, just stay, Geoff. I've got some presentations for you. Wow. Geoff, first of all, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Camberwell, thank you so much for your year in charge. And especially during the last 4 months, it's been a difficult year for all of us, but your no-nonsense approach has been just what we needed for this difficult time. So from me personally, and on behalf of the club members, thank you very much. The club has got a small gift for you to show our appreciation. It's the traditional plaque inscribed with your name.
Thank you very much.
So that's for you to keep permanently. And Lindy, if you could get the other presentation. And Hong, if I can ask you to come up. And Hong, on behalf of the club, please accept these flowers as a token of our appreciation for supporting Geoff during his year. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Enjoy those flowers.
Okay, yep. Wow. Thank you. First of all, thank you for your words, District Governor Phillip, and Don, your kind words as well, proposing the Toaster Rotary. I appreciate very much. I'm both honoured and humbled to become the 65th President of the Rotary Club of Camberwell and join the ranks of so many outstanding Rotarians who have preceded me. I'm in astonishing company. And I also must acknowledge Neil and dear Margaret Hookey for introducing me to Camberwell back in 2012. Could have gone to another club, but thanks to Margaret and Neil, I'm with Camberwell. I also want to acknowledge my wife, Lindy, my daughter, Sally, and her husband, Daniel, and daughter, Marnie, who are all here tonight. My son, Paul, and his wife, Daniela, who are watching via Zoom from Sydney. And my sister, Karen, watching from Townsville, if she's mastered the technology. There's no guarantee with that. And all of my friends out there who have given me such love and support over the years, thank you. You know who you are. What a time to become the president of a Rotary Club. Not only 2020-21 is the centenary year of Rotary in Australia and New Zealand, and what a fantastic milestone that is, with lots of R100 projects and celebrations ahead. But we've also had to endure an unprecedented upheaval of every aspect of our life due to the COVID-19 pandemic, including our Rotary life. Our founder, Paul Harris, said in 1932, "This is a changing world. We must be prepared to change with it. The story of Rotary will have to be written again and again." Very profound words back in 1932. And Holger Nuck, our Rotary International President for this 2021 year, chose as his theme, Rotary Opens Opportunities. And as District Governor Phillip said, what an appropriate theme for these difficult and challenging times. One obvious way we've had to change is the use of technology to hold our meetings, including this one. And it's appropriate now to congratulate and thank all Camberwell members for quickly and enthusiastically adapting to this new form of Rotary meeting. Had we planned to do this 6 months ago, pre-COVID, I can just hear the groans and moans and predictions of disaster. And yet here we are, reasonably confident with the technology and reasonably happy with the e-meetings. And as was mentioned earlier by now past President Geoff, our participation rates increased by 25% for the April to June period. Pretty impressive. So all Camberwell members, those here in this room and those out watching in Zoom, young and old, technically challenged or not, pat yourselves on the back. Who said you can't embrace change? And speaking of Zoom, it's appropriate at this stage to thank past President Peter Allen, your videographer, producer and director for this evening, for helping me up with the Zoom technology and also stepping in to organise this professional online changeover meeting. I wish I could pan the camera down to where Peter is sitting just beside me, but on behalf of you all, thank you very much, Peter. But other things will have to change. The cancellation of the 2020 art show in physical form has punched a substantial hole in our fundraising, as has the suspension of our Hawthorn Makers Market and the Camberwell Sunday Market. And this has been reflected in the reduced committee budgets for 2020-21. But we will all work together and rise to the challenge, and we'll make sure we get the biggest bang for our reduced buck. And we'll also work hard to get some of Phillip's district grant funding to stretch our charity dollar further. And we'll also seek out projects that require hands-on help, more than just writing a cheque for dollars. Rotary International's action plan is as follows, and I'm quoting now, "Together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities and within ourselves." And our universal Rotary motto is service above self. So the key words for me are action, change and service. So my vision for Camberwell Rotary this year builds on these three words. First of all, action. Action because we are a doing club. We're not a dinner club or a cheque writing club. We do things, big things like the art show, and small things like cooking sausages at Bunnings or rattling the tin at the Camberwell Sunday markets. We manage and run the Hawthorn Makers Market. We dig post holes for farmers recovering from bushfires. We do things. We like doing things. Change is the next word. Change because some of it is forced on us by COVID, but some because it's the right thing to do or it's the right time to do it. Remember the quote earlier from Paul Harris, "This is a changing world," and Holger Nuck's theme, Rotary opens opportunities. So we need to change, improve, develop and refine the way we run our club in these challenging times. And the third key word is service. This is why we joined Rotary. This is what drives us in all we do as people of action. We are a service club first and foremost. Now, I would like to introduce your board for the 2020-21 year. And unfortunately, that's something that we can't do over Zoom, but I will certainly do it by words. First of all, the conveyor belt clicks forward one position and Geoff McCormick becomes our Vice President and Vijay Susala becomes President-elect. And as President-elect, Vijay also takes overall responsibility for club service. So congratulations, you both. Fabienne Nicola continues as our Secretary and George D'Souza continues as our Treasurer. Both are outstanding Rotarians and excellent at their jobs. And congratulations, George, on your PHF. Teresa Malella continues as Director of Community Service. She has had a fantastic year and will play a key role in managing our R100 projects in our centenary year. The experienced Lyndon Joss takes over international service, and I also must thank Kerry-Ann Frost for her leadership as she steps down from 2 excellent years in the chair. Richard O'Brien continues in the vital position as Director of Vocational Service, an area that will receive particular district emphasis this year. And we welcome Patty Laufenberg as Director of Youth Service. And thanks must go to retiring Director Justine Paragreen for her professional leadership of youth. She is just a wonderful Rotarian. I must also thank Lizzie Potts for standing in during Justine's leave of absence. A great job done, Lizzie. As our members are aware, I promoted the positions of membership and fellowship chair to the board, as I believe these 2 areas are vital to the club's well-being, especially during and post the COVID crisis. For membership to promote the club and attract new members, especially the young and culturally diverse, fellowship must have speakers, programs, external functions and the like to create and maintain a happy, safe, satisfying and rewarding Rotary experience. So working with Vijay as Club Service Director will be David Baker as Membership Director and Annie Murphy as Fellowship Director. A lot rests on David, Annie and their committees. So please congratulate me, and so please join me in congratulating the new board for 2020-21. For a club to flourish and grow, there are many more people required to fulfill vital club management roles. And I'll introduce them all at the next regular meeting that we have. However, I just want to mention the following as they represent new or changed roles. First of all, John Oppie will be in charge of the new role of Master of Ceremonies. Like the Sergeant at Arms, John will not only be responsible for setting up the room and protecting the President when we're back in Conakry Hall, but also running a weekly celebration session that does not rely on fines. It will in fact be a fun way to recognise individual members' milestones and achievements, and probably some goof-ups as well. And I'll have more to say on this in the coming weeks. Steve Clark takes over the new role of Public Image and Communications. Steve will ensure both our website and Facebook page are continually updated with interesting and topical information. We are in the digital age, and our members, especially our new and prospective members, expect to see a level of promotion and professionalism in these 2 platforms. I also want to see the website used regularly for rostering, calendar events, ticket sales, even attendance, apologies and dinner payments. Steve, with the assistance of Jivan, will have a lot to do in this space. Joanne Tamlin has agreed to take over the Camberwell Sunday market roster, and I want her to develop a new rostering method once the market recommences that will involve 2 intensive efforts to fill the roster in 6-month blocks. In my mind, this will be a great improvement. Please support her in that endeavour. Now I would like to add my thanks to our retiring members. Jeff Angus, you have given such excellent service to Rotary over 30 years. No one could ask more from you, and you retire with Camberwell Rotary with our best wishes. Lizzie Potts, one of our new members, you have made such a huge impact, and we wish you the very best in your pursuit of new challenges. And we hope to welcome you back one day. And both of you, Jeff and Lizzie, please stay in touch. So in conclusion, I'm really looking forward to my year as president, and I'm determined to lead our club through this difficult period, encouraging members to embrace change where necessary, to ensure that we come out the other side reinvigorated and ready to progress. I'm determined to ensure that all members feel appreciated, worthwhile and satisfied. A club can only be successful when all members love Rotary and feel validated, included and appreciated. And I'm determined to make sure there is no discrimination whatsoever on the basis of gender, age, ethnic origin or sexual orientation. There is no place in Rotary for any kind of discrimination. And finally, during my President-elect training, it was hammered in that we are to conduct ourselves as servant managers. And this means that I'm not your CEO or your boss. I'm more of a mentor or a guide. So my role is to help you all work together toward all the club's goals. I am up for the challenge. Thank you everyone very much. I'll now hand the conduct of the meeting back to President-elect Vijay, who will close the meeting and let the party begin.
Just hang on, President Murray. Just 1 second. I would like to ask Ms. Hong McCormick to give flowers to Lindy, our First Lady now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Murray. What a fantastic presentation. And you have a wonderful team to work with. Eh? Just a reminder to you, President Murray, you have 52 weeks to go. That's it. Also, may I get your attention, please, I would like to say a couple of things about our new president. He's amazingly very energetic person. His hiking abilities into Kokoda trails, a passionate bike rider, and his skills in coordinating, as you heard many times, the Zoom for last few months. And he mastered the Zoom very well. We are about to nominate him, just very unofficial, that we'd like to nominate him as a PhD in Zoom technology. And your supervisor will be Peter Allen. Thank you. We are, and sometimes he does his Rotary things during his bike rides too. Yeah. Perhaps he needs a bike e-pad to send emails when you're riding a bike. We wish you good luck for the year and looking forward to working with you, President Murray. Also, may I take this opportunity to congratulate our PHF holders at the moment for tonight. Kerry Ann Frost, George D'Souza, Jeevan Mesila. Well done, mate. Our next Zoom meeting will be next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Topic is virtual art show of members' artwork. And chair is Brenda Innes. Thank you all for attending, all the guests, District Governor Philip Archer, and other distinguished guests, Rotarians, partners, friends, and formal meeting concludes now. Turn into your after party at 8 p.m. There's a Zoom going on, will be going on at 8 p.m. That's a different Zoom link. Please join in and enjoy your dinner and see you shortly. Thank you.